stampcreations.blogspot.com. And this evening we are going to do an altered canvas. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Hopefully we've gotten a few of the fun things taken care of. Getting the camera all set, I'd like to say thank you very much. Hopefully the fan isn't as loud as it has been in the past. Tonight we're going to do an altered canvas. I took a class from Lemoore with Faber-Castell at CHA, and we made this really cute little love stand. And I'm actually going to do a bigger size, and we're going to play a little bit. We're going to get messy. I pulled out my Lindy sprays and the magicals and all of that kind of stuff. So definitely keep that in mind. As we kind of get through, we're going to use some cheesecloth that I purchased from Making Memories. However, just go find a piece of cheesecloth if you have some somewhere. I'm going to be using some regular gel medium, some light molding paste. I'm going to use some iridescent medium, which is basically kind of the sparkly pieces, which you really can't see a whole lot there. I'm also using some chalkboard paint. This is the plaid version of chalkboard paint. I got this at Joann's today. We're going to use a variety of Lindy sprays, and I have the Nantucket Pearls Magicals that we're going to use today as well. We're just going to have a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pull from our stash some of the Flourish stuff. These were chipboard pieces that we just inked and colored and did and that. So we're just going to be messy tonight and have a little fun, come up with a cute little project and go from there. All right? All right, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take a piece of 12 by 12 chipboard because I'm making a 12 by 12 canvas. Here's my canvas that I'm using. Let me pop you out just 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. Yes, we'll be using gelatos too because the gelatos are fun. All right, so I have a piece. When Michaels has their chipboard and specialty paper and everything on sale, I tend to pick up this really heavyweight chipboard. It ends up being $1 a sheet, but there are certain things that you want a really nice heavy board for. So we're going to go ahead, and this is actually just a touch too big. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just take off a 1/2 inch on each side, and I'm going to use one of my crummy old cutters that you can not see any of the measurements here, but you can still see this nice line here. And I'm just going to, I'm cutting off a 1/2 inch on each side. This is a 12 by 12 square piece of and then I'm just going to flip it over and hit it again on the flip side. So we're going to end up with an 11.5 by 11.5 inch piece of chipboard. So I've got a dull blade, a thing. You're not going to see much except for in the middle. So save these for later. You might want them. If not, toss them. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to grab a foam brush. If I can find one. Can't find a foam brush, we'll just have to use a brush. Oops. Oh, I don't know where the foam brush went. I have a 1-inch brush. All right, so I have a brush. I'm going to take my chalkboard paint and give it a good shake. I have to get, ew. Okay, yuck. All right, make sure you got a baby wipe or something next to you. All right. Set that over there. Now we're going to take our chalkboard paint and we're going to just paint this chipboard. I'm looking forward to next week's class, you guys, with the layouts. I think those are going to be so much fun. All right. So we're just giving a good coverage. Now we're going to move this off to the side. Hope the cats don't walk in it, so Martha, don't call them. And I really need to go put some water in my thing. No, I have not been stuck to the oil cam yet. I need to get some water for my brush. Okay. All right. I'm just going to rinse that off. That's more my cleanup brush than anything else. We're going to move this over and let it sit and dry. Then we'll heat it with the heat gun when we need it for the back of our project if it's not completely dry. Now you're going to go ahead and take your canvas. And I have a 12 by 12 canvas here. Nope, that was chalkboard paint. That was just plain old chalkboard paint. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take our X-Acto knife. When I figure out where I put mine. Here it is. And we are going to cut a huge hole in the center of our piece here. And we're going to leave, we're just going to cut a big hole. You want a little bit of a border. We're going to cut a hole in it. Okay, just like that. Now to save this piece, we're going to need it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our modeling paste and a spatula and get all over that. That didn't get cleaned off. Don't know. And whipped spackle is one of the things that Faber-Castell came out with. I don't have any whipped spackle. They didn't give me any to take home and play with. So I'm playing with this one until I can get a hold of some of the whipped spackle and that. And what we're doing is we're kind of frosting our canvas. Okay? So we're just kind of putting it on there, kind of thick and gloopy in places. We're just covering up the canvas itself. You want it to be kind of thick, but not too thick. We're just making a big old, we're frosting a frame. And you want to leave it kind of bumpy, swirl it around. Because that's going to help with the dribbles and the things when we spray. Look, it's so much prettier than a cake would be at my house. Because Harrison would stick his fingers in it. All right. All right. So now we have piece number 2 that we need to set aside and let it dry a little bit as we prep a few more pieces. And then we'll hit it with our heat gun, dry it up, go from there. We'll be good. Okay. Wow, where am I going to put this thing? I'm going to want this box, though. I'm going to set my frame over there. Need a bigger room, guys. I need a bigger room. All right. Next thing we're going to do Gosh, we're making a mess. That was modeling paste. Faber-Castell's coming out with a really nice one called Whipped Spackle, which is really, really, really cool. All right, we're going to make a couple of flowers. All right. We're going to make a couple of flowers. All right. So let's see. I need a round. My round circle punch. I have this big humongo one. And a piece of scratch paper. I'm going to use this piece of craft. We're going to cut one of these out. And we are going to make a weird flower. Let's see if I can find the flower. Here we go. We're going to make this kind of flower. It's kind of fun. It's funky. It's kind of weird. And so we've got a 3-inch circle. And we're going to need 4 flowers. And this is one of those rosette things. These are the big ones. But I have white ones. I have some cream ones. I have some littler ones. And these are not my favorite. To be very honest with you guys, they're just totally not my favorite. So you're going to cut them all apart. This is another, what are we going to use for glue kind of thing. And I'm going to use my fabric tack tonight, just because I want it to work fast. And we are going to cut these 4 flowers in half. So we have 8 pieces. I saw this on YouTube. Thought it was great. Thought it was absolutely amazing. All right. Well, maybe I didn't do a 3-inch thing. All right. So we've got our 3-inch piece. I just covered it all up. You know, there's no right or wrong way to play with this. If we were painting masterpieces or something, probably, but I just put a bunch of molding paste, which is kind of like spackle. And so it's going to pretty much, it's not going anywhere. It's kind of the consistency of whipped topping or whipping cream, like a whipped cream frosting. That's kind of the gist to it that I am pretty much getting. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to take our very sticky, grab it quick kind of glue. And we're going to shake it down. And we are going to take and put a glob of glue on the bottom and fold these into a triangle on the back side. And your hands are going to get goopy. Okay? You can hot glue these if you want. But you need to kind of hold them And, you know, you can cut the netting off. You can do all kinds of stuff. Okay? So we're just putting a little glob of glue on the back, and we're folding them in like a triangle to a point. Okay? Okay? I think we'll make 2 of these. Maybe one really big one and one little one. So we're going to put the corners together and pinch. Okay? The corners together and pinch. And this gets everywhere. So this is one of those where you have to be okay with getting sticky and gross. Okay? It works really good with hot glue or just a glue that grabs quick. Okay? So the flower that was on the canvas that I did was a Prima flower, and we gelatoed it. Yeah. And so tonight I'm just, we're making our own flower. One corner, scrunch it up. So we come down to a V. Scrunch it up, make it a V shape, have it come out a little, make a mess. And now my fingers are being attached and I'm struggling just because they're goopy. Oh, look at that big old glob of glue. It's a good thing this is the last one. All right. Oh, we're going to put that over here though, because we're going to need that. We're putting a big old glob of glue in the center of our circle. And now you're going to have glue on your circle, and you are going to arrange your points at 12 and 6, kind of at the edge. You put the point in at 3 and at 9. Now we're going to add we're going to find a little glue there and stuff this one in. And then you're going to you're just stuffing the points back in there to get this really cool shabby flower. It's a 3-inch. I punched a 3-inch, but you could use whatever you've got. It just depends on how big or little you want them to be. Okay? So we're stuffing that all in there. Okay? And the tool's kind of hanging out and all that kind of good stuff. We're giving it a good squeeze into that glue. Now, if you have an extra flower, which I do, we're going to make little ones too, because I have these little itty bitty ones. You can put that right in the center. In order to have this, oh, yep, here we go. You can zoom in. We're going to do it again with a smaller circle. Yep. I saw somebody on YouTube do them. I thought, okay, these would be great because I tend to buy white because I'm like, I can color them. You can color these with gelatos. You can spray them with the sprays. All right, we're going to do it again. Hold on, I need to find a circle punch that is not that big. Ugh. Found it at the bottom. Ouch. All right, guys, this is a 2-inch circle punch. We're going to make 2 of these ones. Don't know what I did with my paper. Where did my scrap go? Oh, here we go. Yeah. So we're going to cut 2 circles. These are 2-inch circles. And we're going to do it again with the smaller ones. Well, you know what? We're going to do it with these small ones. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need 1 for the center. So we're going to leave one hole. Okay? We're going to cut these in half. So 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. 7, 8. So we need 8 pieces. We're going to put some glue. Okay, one of the other things they tell you is always put your glue on the side. So we're going to put a little bit of glue. Come on. Here at the bottom, make a V. Hold it for a minute. I'm going to go at the same time. So you're going to make the V and plop it down. So we're going to take, we've got half a flower. So you're going to take halfway in, make a V, kind of give it a point, and put it down directly opposite. Okay? I'm just going to get my hands in there and just add those the weird way. Get in there, add that in there, get all dirty and goopy and gross. Tuck these together at an end. Oh, hold on. Just tuck them in there and get them in there. Get them in there and cover them up. There's so much glue. Give it a good smush. Oh, here we go. We've got this glue everywhere. We're going to put that in there like that, but you know what else we have? I have Siemens. Oodles and oodles and oodles of Siemens. And we got some leaves. Alright, hold on. I think I need to move my camera just a bit. Because I'm working down here. So maybe as I'm putting those in there, I'm just going to rip that off. You guys can see the big gooey mess that I'm now being attacked to. So I got the little bobbly things that we're now going to put in there and have them come up. And so there's a little flower. Ugh. Okay. So we've got, I feel like I'm like forever away from you guys. So there's another little one. Trying to think. You know, I need another one. So let's go ahead and let. You're welcome. So how's the fan, guys? Better? Did we figure that out finally? That's like probably the hugest issue. You know, I'm also manhandling it. And it's almost empty. All right. I really am kind of manhandling it. And I'm gobbing it. Three and 9. Oh, I forgot to cut these apart. Well, this is going to be a nice big shaggy flower because we're going to need 4 more. Oh, this one's going to be bigger than the other ones. This is going to be a big old flower. It's a good thing our canvas is 12 by 12. Wow. I'm liking this one. Now, let's see. I think I'd like it to have a little bit of tulle. And a little more right on the top. This is going to be a humongo flower. I'm thinking we needed 2 more under there. Hold on. Here's 1. Oop. All right, are you guys like scared now? You guys aren't talking. Which leads me to believe you're scared. Oops. You know, and honestly, you can do whatever your heart desires. I have some pre-made leaves here. Yep. All right, so we're ready now to spray these guys. I'm going to add a lot of little things there. I think I want some of these too. Maybe I won't use all of the white leaves since I'm going to use some of those other ones. Okay, so we got some leaves, we got some flowers. I'm going to use these flowers. I'm going to find a few here. These are the Prima big old thing of flowers you can find. There's another one. Those are little itty bitty things. There's a big huge one. All right. All right. So I'm going to do 2 of the paper flowers. The last one was really big. That's because I forgot to cut it. All right, and then what I want is all right. And I just have some brads. They're from Prima. Available at Hobby Lobby. All right. Now my glue is everywhere. Gross. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take a box and add a few paper towels. And we're going to drop our little friends in the box. And we're going to go ahead and color them. You know what? And I have some delphinium turquoise, some tourmaline teal, some Tibetan poppy teal. I have Treasure Island aqua. And then I have honeysuckle coral. Cocoa bean copper. Gossamer gold. And Mission Bells brown. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the teals and the aquas. So all I'm doing right now is shaking up, getting the sediment back into the colors. And what we're going to do is we're going to spray. So we're going to start with the turquoise, and I'm going to separate them a little bit. And right now, what I've got are some really super cute ones. I'm going to grab my heat gun. Moving that water over to a different section. Well, we're going to make them all kinds of stuff. Now I need my tweezers. Yeah. I think I'm going to add some of the gold. I did multiple. And a little more of the blue to give it more of a blue goldy kind of thing. I'm going to also take them up and really kind of add some of that color down into it. This is looking more teal. And because I put the tool in there, the heat gun makes it shrivel up. Okay. So now my hands are really gross. Okay. I wanted the color to be a little more intense, so I just added a little more. Okay, so I have these really pretty greenish teal colors. You can kind of see. Now, I'm going to add some purple because I have some Heidi Swapp. So I'm going to kind of dab my, well, that didn't work real well. We'll see what happens. Now I have the purple. Now my fingers are all purple. And these are all shiny and fun. No problem. Thanks for joining us. Always love to have new people come hang out and do. I don't know. I'll have to decide. Yeah, it'll wash off. Probably with a little shampoo. It's pretty. This is Amethyst by Heidi Swap. Okay. I want to leave the white ones here. And I'm going to put these green pieces in here. And I'm going to spray them with the purple. And I'm going to hit them with the Gossamer Gold. Oh, they're pretty. This one I didn't get much on. Okay. So now we have some flowers and stuff. Now let's look and see how our canvas is doing. Let's see. What do I have that is big enough? I almost need a pair of tongs, guys. All right, I want this one to kind of come up a little bit. All right, so I have this really pretty flourish that we use. This is from my stash. Remember, this is an empty package, you guys. Empty package. That scrubby stuff my dad used to use, the goop stuff. So we've got a couple of pieces there, a flourish. We might need a couple more. Let me look and see what I got. I have some grunge board, you guys, that I'm going to use. And let's see. I'm sure I've got 12 gazillion pounds of things. I have some keys. I have some cameras. Ooh, I have a couple of feathers. And I got a lot of trinket stuff. So what I want to do now is I want to cut grunge board. I've got some feathers. I think we're going to hit those with the magicals. You guys doing okay? Here's some grunge board. So we're gonna make those pretty. And a few more gears. Okay. So we got those. Get this out of our way here. This is Mission Bells Bronze. And I'm going to add some of the aqua. And some of the poppy teal. Not liking that. This is the Moonshine Mist. All right, so now let's go in with this teal and add it in a couple of spots. I have some Desert Moon Copper Pine embossing powder from Lindy's. And what I want is a piece of clean paper. Piece of typing paper would be good. We're just playing and making a mess tonight. It's going to all come together at the very end. You guys are going to be like, wow. I hope. Yeah, that's okay. I was wondering if we just had very few people on tonight. And but it shows 35, so I think a lot of people are chatting tonight, Martha. All right, guys. So what I want to do now is take these, a couple of these. This is the Lindy Stamp Gang spray. And they were something that was shown at CHA, which was good, but they've been around a while. The other thing that I really like is that I live in Washington State. Laura lives over in Seattle. I live on this coast, on the other side. And so basically, they're a company that is here in my. That's not going to work. Hold on. I have to find some versifying. Some, oh gosh. You know what? I know what an easy one is. Where's my thingy? Ugh. Okay. That's interesting. Where did it go? There it is. Cute little box with the latch on top. Ugh. little 1-inch VersaFine. We're going to move this over a minute without trying to spill the majority of that on me. All right. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and put this back in there. All right. Oh, I missed one right here. This one. So I embossed those, and so it gives them just a little bit of a different look. Those are now dry, and they're grunge board, so they're pretty nice and flickery and all of that good stuff. All right, so now we're going to go back to our, we're going to use those things here shortly. So we're going to move this stuff off. And we're going to bring back our spackle painted, our spackled frame here. I put it on very thick, you guys. right. I'm going to take you guys out pretty far so you can see. Kind of what I'm going to do here. Now, my flowers are purple and blue. I'm going to take my cocoa bean copper and I am going to dab to the running point here. I'm adding just some water to make it run. The lid's back on. Hitting it with the water and it'll run. Looks like old paper. Now I'm going to catch some of that drippage and have it be dark in some spots. So I'm going to go ahead and dry some of that off. I bought the, buy the dauber. You can buy the dauber lids, but I also, I bought the trial packs where you got a variety to kind of play with that would go together. So this is taking forever to dry. Oh. All right. So it's got some really, really great color and things. Some nice drippage, if you will. Let's look and see what our chalkboard paint looks like. Oh yeah, we're pretty. We still got a couple of spots that are wet. You know what? Let's not worry about that. Let's take a piece of our cheesecloth now. We're gonna cut a piece off. Okay, so you can see some of those pieces. So we're going to take this off again and set this over. Well, actually, let's talk about how to get a quote or something in here. And if you want it to be a permanent one, like this one says love and it's a permanent one, and that you can do a variety of things. Ooh, let's see, where did my white marker go? Here it is. So we're going to write the word dream inside. So I am going to take my pencil and I am going to, you know what, I'm not either. Not either. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to I have some stickers. Who needs to write? So we need a quote, guys. Are they big enough? Yeah. I need a quote. We can always leave it to just write on, though, too. It's not a button. You can do that. It's not a button. So I have some iridescent medium. I'm going to put that right in the middle there. And I have my magicals here. And you can do regular gel medium too, if you can get the thing open. Honey. Wife not strong enough. Dave, can you open this for me? Liquitex. I think I glued it shut.
Nice.
Thanks.
Nice to know I have a purpose around here.
You do. Okay. We're going to put a little in there and a little in this one. And let's see, a little more right here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play. What are magicals? They are neat. Magicals are a unique pigment powder that combines the deep, vibrant color of our dye-based pigments with our glorious micro shimmer. Use them as paints with every medium you can imagine. They contain a binding agent for papers and dye for porous surfaces, or use them to color your artistic mediums, gels, pastes, wax, etc. Watch our Lindy's 101 video for quick tips and techniques. So that's what they are. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure it's at, I'm sure it's there as well. All right, so I have some copper. And I'm going to take a little bit, oh, wow, that's a lot, and mix that up in my gel medium. And I'm going to take and paint on my cheesecloth. And it should sparkle all up. Oops. Not real dry. All else fails, just stick your fingers in it. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to dunk my cheesecloth in this gel medium. And I'm going to, so the gel medium is just like glue. Okay, I have to find a different way to use these. I'm not liking this. All right. Oh. Actually, we're going to take It's just some texture, some weird stuff. In just a second. All right. Ugh. I think I'm done squirting things. Now we're back to gluing. All right. Oh, some major happening here. Where's my wave? There it is. Oh. fresh, maybe? You know what? This glue is annoying. Not gonna like those. Alright, guys. It's 8:30. Well, and I'm pretty much done. All I need to do now is actually take and stick our chalkboard back on. Which is, where did I stick it? Oh, right there. Alright, so we will find something for the magicals in the future. Once this is completely dry, I will actually attach my chalkboard inside. Can you guys see? Little clusters. We've got the cogs, the gears. We have some other gears up here in the corner. flower here. It needs to dry so I can dig in my stash and find other things. Maybe add a trinket or two. And I'm sure I have. I do have like a trinket you can kind of put in. Oh, and I have those keys. Where did I stick those? And I have some cameras. Thank you. Like I could do a camera right up in here. I like that idea. Yeah, this is the fabric tack by Beacon. It's messy, but it is hugely strong. I love this little thing tucked right in there. A cute little metal key piece here. Alright, so this is pretty much our project for tonight. I know we used a ton of stuff. Totally kind of similar, but different. Different colors, different things. Used a ton of Lindy's sprays. Mixed them all up together. And that, the roses, we showed how to do those and color them. We used the chalkboard paint, which is so much fun. We used the embossing powder, the whole shebang. So, okay, Martha, I'll take it off. There you go. It's really good. It's just, it's really good. However, you know, you have to kind of play. It's very rubbery. It'll stick. All right, guys. So this is my project for tonight. The stuff that we're using again is the Timberline collection from Close to My Heart for next week's project. Those of you who already got, I have the cutting guides that I'll be giving away for free. We'll do the layouts and things like that as well. It'll be fun. I will get some good pictures of it. And I'll get it up on my blog. And we'll kind of go from there. I really enjoyed the project, you guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet, but I did enjoy the project. So thanks a lot for joining me tonight. Oh, it's no biggie. I'm good. The Olympics are on. I totally get it. And that we're still gaining a ton of people and stuff, so I'm excited to see all the newbies. Make sure you check out my blog. I think next week we'll have a couple of giveaways. I really want to see you guys what made with those 12 cards. You know, the card cutting guide and everything. So definitely send me a link to those. I did get a link from one of the viewers on putting the famous tea box together. And so that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that, to see that somebody had actually made it. So, all right. Now I need to get this stuff off me. All right. If you guys don't have any other questions, I'll say good night, and I'll see you guys next week. All right? Yep. I'm fast. The girls will tell you I'm fast. I'm Superwoman.